So, my name's Chris Graham, and that's my wife, Kelly. And we're getting ready to embark on a journey of homesteading. We're looking at working with the Department of Agriculture, or I should say more than looking. We've applied for a loan between us and the Department of Agriculture that will allow us to buy property and install a, as they put it, safe and modest dwelling for our family. And it must be a rural property, and it's best if it's a reclaimed property or an undeveloped property. This is different than homesteading, the Homestead Act properties through BLM or other government organizations where you're required to not only you buy the land, but you're also required to make it a productive industrial or corporate type farm and whatnot, producing goods that you sell. Through the program we're doing, we're not allowed to sell anything beyond your basic farmer's market fare.
Which is fine. That's not really the point of what we're doing. We wanted to make sure that we could sustain ourselves and take care of our family. So the food that we want to grow isn't really meant for just everybody or for profit. It's to keep us fed.
Yeah. So we're driving today. We're looking to find our way out to an area where there are properties that we've seen listed that are within our price range.
Estimated price range, at least.
The preliminary estimation from the Department of Agriculture, which is right around the $200,000 mark if we do a stick home, which we're pretty sure we're going to do that. In fact, we want to go ahead and we want to build a home there, which we'll see how this works out. I'm disabled and have a lot of chronic pain issues as well as seizures, so I am marginally helpful, I think is the way to put it. Kelly stands to do most of the heavy lifting because if I do, I will likely have a seizure. And my seizures are non-epileptic, so they have a different profile. Maybe in a later video we can talk more about my health, but for now we're talking about the land that we're going on, and you can hear our kids in the background. But we're going out today to look at properties, as I said, that are within our budget and see just kind of what's out there. We've got about 9 months before a loan originator gets our file and gives us a solid amount that we will be able to use to get this property and begin development on it.
And we are still learning the restrictions of the loan and stuff. We don't know everything there is to know about it yet. We probably won't get to know a lot of the details until we get to talk to that person.
Yeah, the person that's been doing the preliminary file for us she does just the preliminary numbers. She doesn't do any of the loan origination or final documentation and title details and such. It seems pretty reasonable, though, that we're going to get into a property that's right around 5 acres. If we get lucky, we might get more.
I'm hoping for more.
Yeah, more seems to be what we would like, but we'll see what happens. We're also going to be getting a series of animals that that we'll use to feed us, as we are definitely meat eaters. We are not inclined towards vegan life, but we are inclined towards our food source having a humane life up until the moment of death, and then dressing down and butchering.
And we also also want to make sure that we're going to use every part of the animal that we can when it comes to that point. So we will be tanning hides and probably doing some videos to show how to do that, as well as whatever else we need to do. If we can collect feathers to use them for crafts or for other things, we'll do whatever. We'll save whatever we can and use whatever we can, so that we're not causing a lot of waste with things as well.
Exactly. And just preliminarily, as everything is in this particular situation, we are looking at ducks, rabbits, chickens, goats, and that's going to be our starting. Those will be our starting point. As well as bees. In fact, we will probably start the bees before we bring on the other animals, just because the gardening is going to be a much bigger focus for us, and we like the idea of having our own pollinators on site. We're looking at ways to combine bees with a greenhouse, so you don't have to hand pollinate within the greenhouse, but the bees can come and go. They're not trapped in there, so we're not getting a die-off because they're stuck in a hot greenhouse and unable to escape.
We're also looking at dedicating about 1 acre for gardening.
So with all of that happening, we're on the road. Some of the building ideas we've been looking at include cob housing, cob or adobe. Depends on
cob.
Or bale cob. We're looking at rammed earth using old used tires that are being thrown away. A lot of times you can get those for free. I've even heard that there are places that will deliver them for free just to get them out of their facility.
Depending on distance.
We'll see what happens with that, but we really do like the idea of recycling tires to use them to build a wall and insulate a house with. And that goes back to the Earthship design, as those use tires and rammed earth as a core component of building the outer structure, the outer walls of the house, and including some inner walls too. There's also some, we've looked at some tiny home construction, looked at the ways that those are made and who the companies that are making them, but currently the fad for tiny homes has them costing almost as much as a stick home to put together. And so we want to do a lot of the construction ourselves, at least to what extent we can. I have a feeling I'm going to be walking around doing this a lot while we're doing construction, while my wife and our kids and anyone who decides that they were willing to help us comes along and helps make those do those things that I can't, and that Kelly can't do on her own, lifting beams and such, or pulling up framing and things like that. So yeah, we're on our way to see some properties, and I'll shoot some video of that when we get there, and so we'll go from there.